Bangladesh is at a historical turning point, and all eyes are curious on Sheikh Hasina. Namaskar, you are watching The Global Eye with me, Mosmi. Former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, who ruled the nation for over 15 years until her ouster in 2024, has been sentenced to death by a tribunal in Dhaka. She was tried in absentia, accused of crimes against humanity during the crackdown on the massive protest movement last year. The sentence has reignited deep political fissures and sparked a new wave of unrest, raising urgent questions over justice, legitimacy, and the future of South Asian politics. And what was the verdict? A special tribunal in Dhaka found Sheikh Hasina guilty of orchestrating the deadly suppression of anti-government protest. The court held her responsible for a series of violent crackdowns that took place during her final months in office. A death sentence has been issued, but Hasina was not present. She currently resides in exile. The trial's historic outcome is seen by many as an unprecedented event, a former head of government facing capital punishment not through international mechanisms but through her own country's courts. For her supporters, however, the verdict is nothing short of a politically motivated assault. Now, where is Sheikh Hasina? Sheikh Hasina is currently in India, where she took refuge soon after her government collapsed following mass protest. She has been vocal, albeit cautiously, through occasional audio messages and statements shared through her inner circle. She maintains that the trial was engineered by her political opponents and the unelected interim administration covering Bangladesh. Her son, Sajeev Wazir Joy, has emerged as a key spokesperson, warning that elections in Bangladesh would be illegitimate if the Awami League remains banned. Hasina has repeatedly said she will consider returning home only if the Awami League's political ban is lifted. A roadmap for free elections is drawn. She is assured fair treatment and security. So far, these conditions have not been met. And we see unrest and lockdown calls there in Bangladesh. The situation in Bangladesh is volatile. The Awami League, now banned, has called for a nationwide lockdown. It sparked widespread protests, transport strikes, and even sporadic violence in major cities, including Dhaka and Chittagong. And what are the key developments? Schools and universities have moved to online teaching in several cities. Public transport disruptions have been reported for days. Incidents of arson and crude bomb blast have occurred across Dhaka. The interim government has ramped up military and police presence, trying to keep order without escalating violence. But the unrest is visible. While the government is trying to maintain control, many fear this lockdown could turn into a long-term shutdown unless political dialogue resumes. And what about the legal landscape? Can Sheikh Hasina be executed? Legally, a death sentence issued in absentia cannot be carried out unless the accused is physically present in the country and in custody. Bangladesh's judicial system allows for various appeals and reviews, and Hasina's lawyers and supporters have vowed to challenge the decision should she return or be detained. Moreover, India, where Hasina currently resides, is at the center of a diplomatic and political dilemma. Extradition based on a political sensitive death sentence would be unprecedented and could destabilize bilateral relations. And if you see the future scenarios, what may happen next? So here are the most likely scenarios unfolding over the next months, what we can actually speculate. Contained unrest, most likely. The government maintains control of the streets with heightened security. The Awami League continues protest, but without any significant shift in power balance. Escalating violence, a large-scale uprising could erupt if protests intensify, leading to more severe clashes, economic shutdown, and possible loss of civilian lives. And diplomatic intervention, regional powers like India may push for de-escalation, perhaps even mediation to prevent instability spilling across borders. But India must be observant. Prolonged stalemate, Hasina remains in exile indefinitely, the tribunal sentence lingers unenforced, and Bangladesh enters a period of frozen politics until new elections or power sharing is negotiated. And if we look at the international implications, India faces a balancing act between hosting Hasina and maintaining stable relations with Bangladesh's interim government. Although we can speculate what are the future things. Organizations are divided. Some see justice being served, others question the fairness of the tribunal process. And there are geopolitical stakes. A destabilized Bangladesh affect regional security, cross-border migration, and strategic alignments involving China, the US, and India. Now, what to watch in the next few days? Will the Bangladeshi government request Hasina's extradition? How will India respond to pressure from Dhaka? Is there escalation in violence? The scale of protest and shutdown will determine the next political shift. Statements from international bodies like the UN or EU will shape the crisis narrative. But here we must ask, is this trial a step forward for accountability in South Asia, or is it political retribution in legal disguise? Can a major political leader be prosecuted without destabilizing the nation? Should the international community intervene in a domestic judicial process if the outcome is seen as politically motivated? What does banning one of the largest political parties mean for the future of democracy in Bangladesh? We don't see any upcoming elections. We can just hear. How far can a country go in seeking justice without turning the wheels of revenge? The conviction and sentencing of Sheikh Hasina have brought Bangladesh to a historic crossroads. Between demands for justice and accusations of political vendetta, the country faces a test of its democratic spirit, judicial integrity, and regional diplomacy. As the world watches closely, Bangladesh must reconcile its past with a path forward that allows for peace, stability, and a fair political process for all. But let's see how Bangladesh treats. For more updates and insights, keep watching The Global Eye.